to go out of bounds, but not very good decision-making there.
So here's Craig Krenzel, third rookie quarterback to win his first start. That was against the 49ers, and will begin on the 11-yard line. And you know the Giants are going to try to confuse him today, and the handoff to Anthony Thomas starting in place of Thomas Jones, and it was Fred Robbins who came back to action, making the tackle, a loss on one play, and the rest of the Bears offense. This is a running team, basically.
It really is. It's an offense that was designed around Thomas Jones, but with him out of the lineup and Anthony Thomas, and I think Anthony Thomas really impressed Terry Shea, the offensive coordinator, last week. I think he learned that he could do some of the things that they thought maybe only Thomas Jones was going to be able to do. He was impressed with his speed on the perimeter and his hands in catching the ball.
He's always been on the outside looking in, not really getting an opportunity with other running backs. Krenzel will throw and swings it out to Thomas, and Thomas is tackled shy of the 15-yard line, a 5-yard gain. Taking a look at the Giant defense, which has forced 18 turnovers, tied for the NFL lead.
And that has been the most impressive thing that they have done all season long. They have generated takeaways, and with their conservative approach on offense, they need to create that short field. But I tell you what, the Bears defense matches up well with Chicago's offense. There's going to be a lot of pressure on this Giant defense today to play well. Their defense and their special teams will go a long way in determining who wins this game this afternoon.
And so the Bears on a 3rd down and 6, trying to get out of trouble. Justin Gage, number 87, the 3rd wide receiver. And here is Krenzel. He has some time, and Krenzel gets rid of it, and the pass is dropped. Justin Gage, who's the rangy receiver, who they haven't gone to that much at 6'4", could not handle it. He was covered by Will Allen.
Well, the Chicago Bears do not ask their quarterback to win the football game. What they like is that game manager philosophy at the quarterback position. And the way that Terry Shea talks about that, it's not turnovers and things, it's getting the hands into the balls of the playmakers. The problem is we don't know who the playmakers are on this offense just yet.
Giants starting in Bears territory at the 48-yard line with Kurt Warner, who has not made many mistakes, and throws incomplete to Ike Hilliard to start the Giant offense. Only 2 interceptions thrown by Kurt Warner. And we take a look at an offense, and Tom Coughlin believes in really the run first and everything else later.
He's going to do a style that a lot of people will consider conservative, but you can see some of the frustration from the skill positions on this Giant offense. Jeremy Shockey, Kurt Warner, Ike Hilliard, Amani Toomer. They want the success that Tiki Barber's had, but this offense is designed around Tiki Barber right now.
And not making mistakes, not taking too many chances. Tiki Barber's not complaining, just about everyone else is, and Barber gets tripped up as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Barber suffered a bruised thigh last week, left the Minnesota game, replaced by Michael Cloud, who suffered a concussion. As you take a look at the Bears defense, Adewale Ogunleye practiced Friday, and the Bears are very happy that he's back in action.
And even without him in the lineup last week against San Francisco, this group had their best performance of the season. And you talk to Lovie Smith, he thinks that the way that this defense was designed, it really matches up well against the strengths of the New York Giants offense.
Hey, Lovie Smith is a defensive guy and was at Tampa Bay and St. Louis. As Warner looks at 3rd and 11, has time, and his pass overthrown, Amani Toomer, and a 4th down coming up. So the Giants had an opportunity with great field position, and now they have to kick. And the handoff to Anthony Thomas. And Thomas getting back close to the 5-yard line, brings up 2nd down.
The Chicago Bears offense is going to have to expand the field. They've got to do something on the outside. You can't come in here and play against the New York Giants. I know they want to establish the run, but you've got to have another dimension. That's why it's so important for somebody on the outside, Justin Gage, Bobby Wade, the tight end position, Desmond Clark, somebody on the outside in the passing game has to step up to give them another dimension.
Well, you're right, Moose, because you can't run the ball unless you loosen up the defense. Otherwise, you'll see 8 in the box or more. And here's a pass to the fullback, Brian Johnson. And Johnson is tackled after a 1-yard gain, so it'll be 3rd down. Jabril Wilson, who has done amazing things, coming in as a strong safety for the injured Sean Williams. And there you see through week 8, the Bears offense highest in 3 and outs in the NFL. And it'll be 3rd down and 9 for Craig Krenzel. Bears trying to make it 2 in a row after stopping a 4-game losing streak against San Francisco on Sunday night. Fake handoff inside, and the loft pass off the hands of Thomas. That could have been risky if someone had been in the neighborhood for the Giants.
Well, they really forced Craig Krenzel's hand right there.
Giants with a first down on the Bears 38. Shockey lining up in the backfield, going out as a receiver, but the protection breaks down, and it was Mike Green who's going to play a very big role covering Shockey, also going up to the line of scrimmage, put the rush on.
Well, when Mike Brown got hurt in the beginning of the season, Mike Green has had to take over that role of the safety down in the box. Great timing on the blitz. The linemen don't see him coming because he's back off in depth. They get engaged, and he finds his way through into that opening.
Barber with time, and Amani Toomer with the reception. Giants get a first down inside the 15. 20-yard gain, and the Giants threaten. They've had good field position in this quarter.
And I don't think this is a conservative offensive approach. I think it's just that style that they don't want to do anything risky. But there's a vertical pass down the field because the players that they have at the skill position are too good not to take advantage of their talents. And you can understand some of the frustration because of the way they've played in the past. Kurt Warner in a very high-risk, high-reward situation. But just hang in there. It's not all about Tiki. They're going to need those other 10 guys.
Kurt has been frustrated, Moose, no question about it. That was the first down of the game. Here is Tiki Barber banging his way inside the 10-yard line for 3. Hunter Hillenmeyer making the tackle, and I'm sure right now Monty Toomer is saying, I want to remind you one thing, Kurt. I've yet to catch a touchdown pass this year, and as you see,
not many up until last week.
Right.
They haven't had a whole lot of touchdowns.
They were great in what everyone else calls the red zone last week against the Vikings, with 4 touchdowns on the ground.
And here's one of the reasons they open up the formation down in here. You see right there, that's an empty set. The running backs are out. They're trying to find that matchup on the outside.
And Shockey is in the slot, and he makes the grab shy of the first down. Not by much. Lance Briggs on the tackle. So it'll be 3rd down and about a yard as Shock gets the catch.
Well, you get him outside in this situation. You can see he's bracketed. Lance Briggs and Brian Urlacher, they have him in bracket coverage. The ball maybe should have gone outside to Ike Hilliard. He was more open on that play than Jeremy Shockey, but Kurt Warner, he has always had the confidence in being able to fit the ball into tight spots.
And even Tom Coughlin admitted to us that they need more from the passing game. And we'll see what happens on 3rd down and 1, the ball at the 3. And here's Barber, and he's in for the touchdown. Tiki Barber with yet another score. And this year, Barber now has scored at least 1 touchdown in 6 consecutive games.
Run with their punt coverage. I don't know why you try and get fancy in that situation. You've given them a breath of life right here with great field position.
Craig Krenzel, who can move, completes the pass to David Terrell and a first down into Giant territory. So you give the team a chance, an opening, and Krenzel and Terrell took advantage of it. A gain of 13.
Krenzel did a nice job of avoiding Michael Strahan on that play also, guys.
Well, that's his big asset, Goose, and that is that he can get away from defenders.
Yeah, he's not going to be a guy that you're going to have, scrambling all over the place, but he can buy some time. He has that good pocket feel, gets in a position where they allow Reuben Brown to take Michael Strahan beyond him in the pocket. You step up and deliver.
And there comes the sack. First time they've gotten to Krenzel today, and Fred Robbins, who missed the Lions game with a strained shoulder a couple of weeks ago, and the former Viking came back last week, and a 7-yard loss back to Chicago territory.
There's Fred Robbins right here. When you run these screens, you have to block the defensive lineman a little bit. You can't release that quick. Rex Tucker releases much too fast, and on top of that, he kind of grabs Fred Robbins and throws him by, actually adds momentum to him getting to the quarterback. You've got to engage the down lineman and hold your block for a while before you release to the screen.
Giants getting big-time play this year from Hand and Robbins. They're 2 defensive tackles, both new to the team this year. 2nd down and 17, and the fade to David Terrell, and it's knocked away by Will Peterson, who played it perfectly. Giants with a 3-man front, including Osi Umenyiora. There's Michael Strahan in his normal spot. And the ball bobbled. Krenzel getting rid of it in a hurry. Completes to Anthony Thomas. Another flag is down. And now Thomas is down at the 41-yard line by Umanura.
From where they got the ball after the kick, they've lost 9 yards and now have a first down.
Crazy quilt start to this game. Anthony Thomas. Thomas picking up about 3 yards with Norman Hand making the tackle. Giants 7-0. And seemingly had knocked the Bears out to third and forever, but a first down here. And the Bears have gained more yards through the penalty virtue than the total yards in the game.
That's not a good stat right there. That's why it's not fair to put everything on the quarterback's shoulders in this situation, the struggles the Bears have had. You've seen already an example of a multitude of players making bad plays and bad decisions, and everything gets reflected to Craig Krenzel's shoulders.
You're right. The penalties are not his fault. Here's the pitch to Anthony Thomas off the left side. And he is hit and knocked out of bounds by Will Peterson after a pickup of 2. Well, time for a game break, and we should have plenty of those today as we check in with Jeannie Zelasco in L.A.
Oh, yes, the Arizona Cardinals had never beaten the Miami Dolphins, trying to rewrite history today, and that will help in the closing moments. Larry Fitzgerald, 2-yard catch for the touchdown, and look, Arizona getting the victory.
Boy, troubled times for Dave Wannstedt. There's been rumors that he could be out as early as next Sunday down in Miami. So he has had nothing go well for him this season down in Miami.
And it all started with Ricky Williams, and it went downhill from there. 3rd down and 4. Krenzel knocked away. It's a free ball, and the Giants have it. O.C. Umanura slapped the ball away from behind Craig Krenzel and goes out of bounds at the 21-yard line. And it was Jabril Wilson who came back and forced the fumble after his unfortunate penalty, and Umanura with a 15-yard return. And I know that Umanura in his second year, here's the pass up the middle of Shockey, trying to barrel his way in, is stopped at the 1-yard line. And the play was blown dead. So Jeremy Shockey, who expressed his dissatisfaction with the number of times he's been used, makes a 20-yard catch here.
Well, Jeremy Shockey, this is his 3rd time in 2 weeks that he's been tackled at the 1-yard line. And what a great release to get underneath Hunter Hillenmeyer. He gets him to move to the outside, gets his hips open, and then breaks right back across his face. He is wide open in the center of the field.
Moose was a nice job. Was Kurt Warner came out and was a quick count on that one. He just got set, first sound, and they went.
You're right, Tony. He caught the Bears perhaps sleeping a little bit. And the handoff going to Tiki Barber, who scores his 2nd touchdown of the game. About Tiki, 4 touchdowns in the last 5 quarters. The fullback, Brian Johnson, goes outside, and the handoff is to Anthony Thomas. And Thomas picking up 4 or 5 yards, and there's the pep talk on the Chicago bench.
Well, it's up to the defense. You know, Lovie Smith said the offense is not going to be the group that carries his team. We're going to build our entire team around our defense. And right now, even though they've been on a short field, the New York Giants have gotten 14 points very easily. They had that nice opening stop with the short punt out near midfield. But since then, the Giant offense is moving the ball very well on that Bear defense.
2nd down and 5. Craig Krenzel, the 3rd quarterback used by the Bears this year. The ball at the 21. And here is play action in the pass drop. And it was Desmond Clark who had a hand on it, and that's a guy that Terry Shea wants to get more into the swing of things. They have not been able to get the ball to him, and the tight end in his offense very key.
Well, this is the offense that is being run in Kansas City, and it was built around Priest Holmes and Tony Gonzalez. And when you got here, Thomas Jones was the good fit at halfback, but they've got to have Desmond Clark emerge. Now, he is not the athlete that Tony Gonzalez is, but he is a very critical part in this offensive philosophy that Terry Shea has brought to Chicago.
Bears now looking at 3rd down and 5. Already trailing 14-0, and the rookie Bernard Berrien lined up to the left. Caught a touchdown pass, looking his way. The ball tipped away. Wade was the intended receiver, Bobby Wade, but Will Allen broke it up, and the Bears will have to kick it away. And 10 yards with Terry Bradshaw. Fox NFL Sunday returns next week. 1st down at the 45 of the Bears. Here's Barber finding an opening. Tiki Barber. And finally brought down. Can no one tackle this man? He's increased his speed. He's obviously stronger, and he gets 19 more yards after Todd Johnson missed him.
Watch him, Lance Briggs, number 55. Watch him make a miss in the hole right there. a great vision by Tiki Barber. The ability to make people miss in small spaces. Now, Lance Briggs a little bit on an over pursuit there, maybe ran the play over a little bit, but Tiki Barber has great vision. He set him up and broke right back to the inside.
Giants averaging 6.5 yards per play. Again, threatened with a first down on the Bears' 27. And Warner completes to Shockey, gets hit but holds on inside the 15-yard line for the first down. So Jeremy Shockey so far has to like what he's seen in this offense.
Yeah, but he takes a big hit at the end of this catch right here. They've got Mike Green on the outside, but they have some help coming from the inside out. And there's Todd Johnson, number 32 right there, puts a big hit on Jeremy Shockey. And what happens when you get Jeremy Shockey involved in the game early? Not only the production, but he's the emotional spark for that offense. Now, he's on the sideline right now trying to catch some wind back, but it's important to get him involved and excited early in the game.
He has 3 catches for 39 yards. Marcellus Rivers replaces him, and now Tiki Barber reverses the direction. And Barber going in, and a flag is down as Barber goes in. It'll be a holding penalty against the Giants, and that will nullify Barber's run. They have to get, as you see the yellow line, to the 4 for the first. Draw play, Barber, and Barber is driven back by Brian Urlacher. Urlacher missing a couple of games, in fact missed the entire preseason camp because of the hamstring pull, but he is 100% healthy now.
And the other problem is he's only able to practice 1 practice day a week. They don't make him go back-to-back days. So Wednesday, Friday is his work week. He has to take Thursday down to make sure that he doesn't re-injure that hamstring.
Easy to do in his position particularly. Shockey back in the lineup. 2nd down and 12. And again lining up in the slot with 2 other receivers. And Warner has the pass tipped at the line of scrimmage, incomplete. And that will bring up 3rd down.
One of the other things I don't think people give Brian Urlacher enough credit for is you always hear about guys on the defense that are like the quarterback. And for the Bears, it's Brian Urlacher. You see right there, he's got that wristband on. There's his calls right there. As you're signaling in from the sideline, he can just take a quick glance down at that wristband, get that call made in the huddle, similar to what the quarterbacks have with the communication system in their helmets.
Jamar Taylor is lined up to the top for the Giants. It'll be 3rd down and 12. Warner getting a pass rush, in trouble and trying to hold on to it, and the ball is picked up by the Bears. And Nathan Vasher, who had a game-sealing interception last week, recovers the ball, and that has been an ongoing problem for the Giants. The loose possessions by Warner, unable to hold on to the ball when hit.
Similar to Craig Krenzel, put the ball away. You've got to put the ball away and tuck it. The Bears know that he has this history. Now watch the hustle by Tiki Barber. Here's another touchdown for Nathan Vasher if Tiki Barber is not alert and hustling across the field. Look where he is back there. There's 21 in the back of your frame, all the way back there to the left. I tell you what, Tiki Barber, he is my midseason MVP for the league this year because of the production that he brings to the position. A franchise that's in a new era. He has been the ultimate team player, but a big-time producer on the field.
So Warner loses the ball, and you always hold your breath when he gets hit for that reason. Krenzel gets taken down for a big loss by Michael Strahan. Only his 4th sack of the season. 2nd down and 24 as we start the 2nd quarter. The pitch to Anthony Thomas off the left side, and getting up to the 20-yard line, a 4-yard pickup. So the Bears have not been able to really spring Thomas so far for any substantial gain.
No, they haven't been able to do a lot of anything yet till this point. Every time they have one good play happen, they can't follow it up with another good play. They had to kick out of bounds earlier with a big 13-yard play to get into Giant territory, have a bunch of penalties back-to-back, end up going all the way down inside the 20-yard line. And on the last series, Nathan Vasher scoops up the fumble from Kurt Warner, goes down the sideline. Their first play after that is a big sack. They put a tight end up against Michael Strahan one-on-one. You don't do that in your protection scheme.
And now it's 3rd down and forever. They need 20, and Krenzel going down at the 20-yard line. O.C. Umenyiora playing better and better each week, and the Giant coaching staff wanting to give him more playing time. Vicente Shanko lined up as a blocker. And it frees Tiki Barber, who is upended by Jerry Azuma after a brief gain of 2. The offensive leaders across the top on our Fox box. Dick Stockton along with Darryl Johnston, Tony Siragusa with you, and coming out of the game is Azuma as a result of that hit. Bears, we ended a 4-game losing streak, beat the 49ers, feeling a lot better about themselves, but in a 14-0 hole here against the Giants, who know they can move to within a game of the losing Eagles with a win. Second down and 8 on the Giant 42. Short drop. And Warner is going deep to Jamar Taylor. And the pass is knocked away. Good coverage by R.W. McQuarters. And for a game break, here's Ginny Zelasco. First down for the Bears on their 38. Dustin Lyman, the tight end, goes in motion. And the handoff to Anthony Thomas as he crosses the 40-yard line. 4-yard gain. Well, next week it's a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. Begins, of course, with America's #1 pregame show, and then Brian Urlacher and these Bears will be in Tennessee to take on the Titans, followed by a key NFC North matchup. Dante Culpepper and the Vikings go to Green Bay. Always a huge battle to face Brett Favre and company. Plus other regional action. Coverage begins at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, here on Fox, presented in Fox Sports High Definition. Second down, 6 for the Bears. We've gotten into Giant territory just once today, and they won't hear as Thomas is stuck trying to go off the left side of the line. Third down and 10. Here comes a safety blitz on Krenzel. It's picked up, and the pass knocked away by Will Allen. They were trying to get it to Bobby Wade. The ball kind of hung out there, and Allen got there and knocked it away.
Falcon team without Michael Vick came in here and won a game against the Giants. So they have really struggled with opponents here at Giant Stadium that when you look at it on paper, they should not.
And there is an ad-lib pass to Tiki Barber, who's stopped short of the first down by a yard by Brian Urlacher.
And this has actually been one of the more effective plays for the Giant offense this year. You're waiting to get the ball downfield, and Tiki Barber just delay releases, and you get him in the middle of the field, and he's got that great vision and the open field running style, and he's a threat when everybody gets down the field vertically, and all of a sudden you find Tiki Barber underneath with nobody around him.
So the Bears are minus in the passing department, and the Giants have 63 yards passing. Second down and 1, and here's Barber, and he's not going to make it as he is stopped. Giants trying to run it second down and 1. A lot of times teams use it as a passing down. No gain thanks to Ian Scott.
Well, unfortunately for the Giants, they can't use it as a passing down because that gets them into 3rd and 1 if it's incomplete, and they have really struggled in that down and distance all season long.
Well, they got it now.
Might as well take it a shot down the field. They did a good job last week curing those red zone or green zone, as Tom Coughlin likes to call it, the problems down there, but this is still one of the areas where they have struggled.
And they give it to Barber, and he's not going to be getting there. Brian Urlacher was determined on that play. He says, if 21 comes my way, he's not going to get there, and he did not. And the Giants will have to kick. So Barber not the answer on 2 straight plays.
Well, there's number 54. He's right there. He's able to see, shoots right through the gap and makes the hit on the other side of the line of scrimmage. We saw last week against Minnesota, their middle linebacker, E.J. Henderson, was not aggressive. But watch how aggressive number 54 is. He is moving forward the entire time. And Brian Urlacher has great vision also.
First down on the 23-yard line. And here is Anthony Thomas as the Bears try to get any semblance of a running game going. Nick Greisen, who's played well, making the tackle. So there have been 5 3-and-outs and a fumble, and that's been the story of the Bears' first 6 possessions. Two
series where they actually end up with negative yardage, and those are very offensive stats, Mr. Stockton.
Thomas Jones sidelined with a toe injury. Appeared in one play last week against San Francisco. Second down and 8 now for the Bears. Short drop on the fade to David Terrell, and it's incomplete. Terrell defended by Will Peterson. So they've not been able to get any offense working, have the Bears, and now look at a 3rd down and 8.
When you're on the outside and you're going to run a fade, David Terrell's at the top of the screen. Krenzel's going to throw it up, but he doesn't give him enough area on the sideline. Look how close he is to the sideline. There is no room for error. Will Peterson does a great job of forcing David Terrell to the sideline. You've got to give yourself 5 or 6 yards of real estate over there to work in case he needs to place it on the outside shoulder.
And the Bears spread it out on offense, and here comes the pressure on Krenzel, and the pass tipped away, and it was Nick Greisen. Greisen again playing. Barrett Green unable to play today with the injury, and Greisen, who was a middle linebacker, playing the weak side linebacking position. Directing the offense is Warner, and Barber going in motion. Shockey also lined up to the right. Warner nowhere to go. Will run out of bounds after picking up about 4 or 5.
You want to see how to pick up a blitzer when you're playing in pass protection? Watch Jim Finn right here. Mike Green's going to come up the middle. He thinks he's clear. He steps over to the other side. Hit him, get up, eliminate that distance from the quarterback, and wash him down. Kurt Warner's got to have confidence in the guy behind him that he's going to get that block, because he pushes him to the right. If he just drifted a little bit, he's going to be able to stay in that pocket.
And Michael Cloud last week gained 55 yards on 10 carries and suffered a concussion late in the game in Minnesota. Has come in the game at running back. 2nd down and 7. And the handoff is to Cloud, but he's hit immediately by Lance Briggs, and another penalty flag comes flying.
When he's got a defensive end coming right in his face.
That's a tough play also, Moose, to run against a team with such speed like the Chicago Bears.
Good point as Cloud carries to the 20-yard line, getting 3 yards. It's 4th down, and it looks like the Giants have been lulled into the Bears kind of spacey way that they've started the game, and all of a sudden the inspired play of the Giants has dissipated as well.
No, I never would have been able to finish that marathon today if it was it was much warmer.
You could have gone 27 miles. Come on. 1st down and 20 following the penalty. Pass up the middle, and it's caught, and still going is David Terrell. And Terrell to the 35-yard line, and that has been the niftiest play of the day for the Bears, picking up 28.
Well, they did what we felt they had to do. They had to get a play made on the offense, and you've got David Terrell against Nick Greisen. That's a matchup that you would love to have a few more times this afternoon. Your big play wide receiver versus a linebacker. And I was just about to make the point that I think the Bears should stay away from that empty set. You know, if they really want to start to be effective in moving the ball, let's continue to get into some formations where we can run Anthony Thomas and maybe get some play action. They hit their first big play out of the empty backfield.
To their main guy, Lovie Smith said without question, David Terrell is our top receiver. And here is Krenzel going deep into the end zone, and making the catch for the touchdown is Bernard Berrien. So the combination of Krenzel and Berrien clicked last week against the 49ers, and another home run toss, 35 yards for the touchdown, and the Bears finally score.
I don't know what happened to Will Allen, but he looks confused at the end of this play. Craig Krenzel throws a beautiful pass. Will Allen just kind of loses sight of the ball.
Totally.
Right at the very end. He's looking back, trying to find it, and then he gets spun around. Bernard Berrien, good concentration on the catch, but what a great throw by Craig Krenzel. And we have just been dogging the Bears this entire half.
Well, that'll come to an end.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at that. Their defense comes out, continues to play well, generates some emotion. You saw them coming off the field, and then David Terrell gives them a spark, and Craig Krenzel makes a great throw for the touchdown.
Paul Ettinger adds the extra point. And Ettinger now 122 extra points. Another look is Berrien with another TD grab.
Oh, this ball is just thrown to a spot, and Bernard Berrien goes and gets it. Now, I don't know what happened to Will Allen. This is we're getting a little bit dark in here. Maybe he lost it up in the lights when he turned back to pick the ball up, but he obviously didn't have any idea where that ball was at the end of the play.
Paul Ettinger will kick off, and the Giants will send Willie Ponder back deep with 5:13 to go. The Bears trailing now 14-7. And Willie Ponder brings it out to the 26-yard line. And that's their leader, Brian Urlacher. And the handoff to Tiki Barber, trying to get running room outside, and he'll lose a few. And Alex Brown with a 3-yard loss and terrific pursuit. Remember, the Giants have had 3 straight 3-and-outs.
Here's Alex Brown. He's the guy that's going to make the play, but watch all the pursuit coming. You get the running back to run parallel to the line of scrimmage, and here comes everybody in pursuit. Alex Brown fights through the block of Luke Pettigrew to make the tackle, but if he had not made that tackle, he had 4 guys coming from the inside out.
So we see how the Giants offense answers what the Bears have done. Second down and long, 2nd and 13. And Warner can't find anyone, and down he goes. And it was Alex Brown once again. And I assume he lost his helmet in the play because you're not allowed to take it off. Otherwise, you're penalized.
But you better start helping Luke Pettigrew right now, because Alex Brown is on top of his game. He is beating him with quick moves to the inside. He's beating him with speed to the outside. Now, they brought in Adewale Ogunleye to be their big pass rusher, but at this point of the season, Alex Brown is where my attention is going to be focused. You've got to do something now to start helping out Luke Pettigrew.
You know, the Bears reflect the calmness of their head coach, Lovie Smith, and he has been calm, and the team calmly has come back to trail 14-7. 3rd down and 17, and making the catch, but short of the first down is Ike Hilliard, and a fumble on the play. And the Chicago Bears have recovered. The Bears get a big break. So the catch by Hilliard and the fumble, and it was Mike Green who recovered it, and right now Todd Coughlin is livid. And has the complexion of this game changed in the last several minutes?
Boy, did you just make a great point a few minutes ago about the demeanor of this team following the demeanor of Lovie Smith. They never panicked. They never got down on each other. They just hang in there and fight.
And here is a fake end around. Krenzel looking to throw, and now he's going to be a ball carrier, and he's got the first down inside the 20, and a flag down. Jabril Wilson on the slide makes the hit on Krenzel.
I see the smoke coming out of Coughlin's ears now, guys.
It's changed.
Well, Desmond Clark, the tight end, number 88, he's going to be down in the bottom left of the screen. I think that he thought that this was a run all the way. There he is right there. Now, that's not just him blocking when the quarterback scrambled. He went downfield and started blocking. There's no way he could have saw that beforehand.
I'm not so sure about that call. First down and goal on the 8. Berrien, who caught the touchdown pass earlier, is in motion. Krenzel has time, has no receiver, and down he goes. So he wanted to cut his losses, and he did. Loses only 1 yard on the play, and Norman Hand was a big, imposing figure on that play. 14-7 game, and the Bears looking to tie it up. Here's Anthony Thomas. Thomas will score, and the Bears, who are badly outplayed in the first quarter and a half, are within an extra point of tying this game.
A good block by Brian Johnson, the fullback, on the outside, but this was a walk-in. I mean, I can't believe. There's the kick right there. They get everything sealed from the outside back to the inside, and Justin Gage does a good job of finishing the block in the end zone, not allowing the cornerback to get back in the play, but the Bears made that look very easy.
First touchdown of the season for Anthony Thomas, and Paul Edinger, with 2:35 remaining in the half, ties the game at 14. Remember, the Giants had a lot of opportunities early on. They kind of owned the ball in Chicago territory, and now the Bears finally have something to cheer about. And they have calmly hung in there and have come back to tie this game. First down on the 28-yard line. And Warner looking to throw, and the pass intended for Toomer, and it's intercepted by Mike Green. And here's Mike Green. Check it, Nathan Vasher, and Vasher is out of bounds, but a Giant player is injured at midfield, and a flag is down as well. Now it's first and goal at the 4, and the Bears primed to take the lead. And whoever thought that would happen in this first half? Krenzel goes down. Fred Robbins with the sack. They lose 6.
But they maintain possession.
Anthony Thomas with 2 tight ends, and one of them in motion, Desmond Clark. And here is Thomas driving inside the 5-yard line, where Fred Robbins makes the tackle. Well, just a little while ago, the Bears were sleepwalking through this first half, and now they have totally taken over from the Giants here and are in position to take the lead before intermission. And the report on Keith Washington, he will return. Good news for the Giants after suffering a knee injury.
Yeah, that looked bad. And Keith Washington was in a tremendous amount of pain when he was down the field. Surprised to see that, but This Giant defense, they've got to rise up now. You've seen what the Chicago Bear defense has done for their entire team. The Giant defense needs to do that same thing right here. They've got to hunker down and keep this Bear team out of the end zone.
And there's Krenzel with a fade and incomplete to Justin Gage, who has the size, defended by Frank Walker. And, you know, the Bears have come back in this game without the running attack, which is really spearheads what they do on offense.
No, it's the defense generating turnovers and giving them a short field. Craig Krenzel making some timely passes, but that pass right there, I don't like it to begin with. I don't like it when people have been together for 5-6 years. When you're talking about a rookie quarterback making his second start and a rookie wide receiver trying to find his way, chances are that thing's not going to be successful.
Boy, the angle has to be perfect.
There's a lot of green if somebody picks that off, too, guys.
Right. 22-yard attempt for Ettinger to give the Bears the lead, and he does. So Paul Ettinger now has hit on 8 of his last 10 field goal attempts, and one of the misses was from 53, so he's doing the job. And the Bears, after trailing 14-0, lead now by 3.
Oh, and we were wondering how angry Lovie Smith was going to be at halftime. I think he's going to be pretty happy. If I'm a Giant player, I'm very nervous about what's going to happen to me at halftime.
Willie Ponder returning the kickoff. And Ponder with a head of steam. And Ponder! Flag is down. Penalty marker down. Willie Ponder is knocked out of bounds at the 9, but you've got to wait to see what the call is. And it's against the Giants. 26 had another idea. And here's the pass up the middle. Tipped and intercepted again. Jerry Azuma. And Jerry Azuma is down, and the ball intended for Jeremy Shockey. Azuma picks it off, and all of a sudden, Mike Green was right in the middle getting the tip again. Another turnover, giving the Bears another chance. It is the 4th turnover of the first half by the Giants.
This is unbelievable. I wouldn't be surprised to see Eli Manning maybe make his first real sustained appearance in this season. There goes Jeremy Shockey down the field. He is very late getting his head turned around. That ball's a little bit on his back shoulder, but Jeremy Shockey was not expecting that ball to come his way.
And there's Eli Manning, who's listening to your commentary up here, Darryl. No, I don't think so, but
he doesn't like the commentary he's hearing right now.
He likes what he hears. First down on the draw play, Anthony Thomas, and one of the better running plays of the day. Here's Jerry Azuma, who is shaken up early, a 6-yard gain, and right now the Bears are playing inspired football. Under a half a minute to go in the first half. Wide open is Bobby Wade, and Wade will get down to the 2-yard line, and the Bears will call a timeout. Wide open, so somebody missed an assignment. As Wade with a 33-yard gain, it'll be 1st and goal at about the 2.
That is a blown coverage at a very critical point in the game. There is absolutely nobody around Bobby Wade. And the big thing is Craig Krenzel has the time to find him. Let's commend the Giant defense. They've held them to field goals on these last 2 possessions when they've got down in tight. They're only one big play away if they go down 20-14 going in at half.
22-yard field goal is good as time runs out, so the smoke will be coming out of Tom Coughlin's ear to be sure. And the crowd not pleased at all. That is the end of the first half, with the Bears leading the Giants 20-14. And then from the 5:13 mark on, just totally dominated the Giants, taking advantage of forced turnovers. See how the Giants respond as Willie Ponder with the kickoff to start the second half, protecting the ball, and a great return by Ponder as he brings it out to the 42. As we get some words for Mr. Siragusa. I think that's a great point. That's the story here. The Giant offense has to come alive here. They scored on short fields in the first quarter, and now they've got to move the ball and do something offensively, and that's not a great start as Barber, no gain.
Well, they have done a good job all afternoon of containing Tiki Barber in the running game. And you know, when you hear Lovie Smith talk about his defense and the fact that it was designed to take away the strengths of the Giants offense, it's a gap control defense. If everybody plays their gap, there's not going to be anywhere for Tiki to go. And Brian Urlacher told us that, you know, we were struggling with that a little bit early in the season. We finally started to see results, and we're going to feed off of our best performance last week.
2nd and 10, and here's Ike Hilliard trying to dive for the first down. Looks like he's
just short by the length of a football. Looking at the first half stats, Moose.
Well, you look at the Bears. They are 0 for 9 on third down conversions and yet have 20 points. And, you know, there's your big thing right there, those 13 points off the turnovers. That is the key for both of these teams. The Giants are at 5-2 because they take the ball away and they don't turn it over much. And the Chicago Bears, their team feeds off of the performance of their defense. Their offense doesn't create a lot. They have to have their defense do that for them and then ride that momentum, like Tony said.
Third down and 1, and here is Barber, and Barber is stopped by Lance Briggs. And the Bears had a lot of confidence in their linebacking core coming in. Briggs, of course, Brian Urlacher, the All-Pro, and Hunter Hillenmeyer. And with fourth down coming up, the Giants will have to kick it away. So inauspicious start for the Giant offense here in the second half. Bears leading the Giants by 6, 20-14. Craig Krenzel so far has avoided mistakes. For the most part, no interceptions, and here's Anthony Thomas. And Thomas with a good run picks up about 6 yards on first down. Carlos Emmons on the tackle. And now with the lead, the Bears can really play that running game, tight defensive battle. No need to really throw it down the field.
Well, they've got to do. The defense has to make a stop. We talked with Keith Washington, and he talked about that Detroit game when all of a sudden Detroit got on a roll, and then they started running the ball. And you know, at that point, you can't turn that switch on and all of a sudden start playing great run defense. They've got to come out right now and stop this. You don't want the Bears to get into the fourth quarter in a tight game like Lovie Smith wants, because that's when they're going to gain all this confidence.
Second down and 4, and again they run the ball, and Thomas is hit. And the tackle made that time by Kevin Lewis, picking up 3 yards. It'll be third and short. But, you know, Moose, my impression is, I know the Giants really fell asleep and didn't really have it against Detroit. I don't think that they've taken this Bear team lightly. That's just my feeling.
No, you talk to the guys about that Detroit week, and they even mentioned the preparation and maybe didn't have the respect because of what the Lions have done for the past few seasons. It's hard to all of a sudden think of them as a different team. This Chicago Bears team, with Lovie Smith and everything, they know that they're going to get a physical game for 60 minutes. So they had the respect. They had everything in hand. It's just been the turnovers, things within their control, and the flag fest, like Tom Coughlin mentioned.
And here is Thomas, and he's got the first down. The first third down conversion by the Bears today, and Anthony Thomas gets it. And so you see the ball control, exactly what Lovie Smith wants his team to do here as they have the lead with nearly 4 minutes elapsed in the third.
Well, 3 straight carries. You get into that third and short. You're taking time off the clock, and you're being effective. You're starting to create some confidence with your offensive group, because you don't want Craig Krenzel to have to drop back a number of times this afternoon and try and win this game. You've got the lead right now. Now try to start to impose your will on that Giant defense.
Bears with a first down on their own 34. Krenzel gets hit, and the pass knocked away, and a flag, and it was Will Allen over the top on Bobby Wade. And let's see if they call it on Allen, who's been pretty active in this game thus far. And not looking was Thomas, and another pass, backward pass, as the Giants saw last week against the Vikings. And let's see if they pick it up, and they do. Last week, Dante Culpepper threw a backward pass to Mewelde Moore. And, you know, the onus now is on the Giant offense to make something of that turnover and get back in this. Trailing by 6, Michael Cloud is the running back, and the quick pass out to Ike Hilliard, and loses the ball, and the Giants recover. And an alert play by Wayne Lucier, who recovered it.
All right, let's just get rid of this screen pass for today. Tony, you on board with me? We're going to throw this play out the rest of the afternoon?
Yeah, that and the fade to the corner.
That and the fade to the corner. We're getting rid of both of them.
I'm going to go over right now and tell them, get him out.
You can't run that play against a defense that is built on speed and pursuit. Everything has to be executed perfectly for that play to have a chance against a style of defense that the Bears play.
Second down and 12. Loss of 2 yards, and the Giants fortunate they maintained possession. And Warner in traffic, and the ball knocked away, and it's picked up by the Bears. They get it back. The Bears get it back, and it's Ian Scott who recovered it. And you wonder whether the Giants will challenge this one, although they can't. The first ruling by the stat crew is that it was a fumble. first down at the 33, and the pitch going to Anthony Thomas. And Thomas running better as the game goes on, picks up nearly 5 yards on first down. And I'll tell you, this crowd has to be totally stunned at how the Bears have come back from a 14-0 deficit and have outplayed the Giants.
Well, I mean, Tom Coughlin, when he talked to Tony, coming out at halftime, the one thing he wanted to do was to create something against this defense. Well, his defense gives them a short field, and the Giants offense goes out, and they have 2 turnovers in 2 plays. They're fortunate to get it back on that first screen.
And to make matters worse, Michael Strahan is hurt on the sideline. Lance Legree has taken his place, and it looks like Thomas slipped or had a problem and couldn't get untracked. But right now, it's time for a game break. Jeannie Salasco, take it away.
All right, we're going to San Francisco, where the Seahawks are threatening, and Corin Robinson is running with the ball. 25 yards for the score. Seahawks out in front, 28-24.
And a wild game in the Bay Area. Wild game here at the Meadowlands.
I don't know if anybody can top what we've had going on today.
Dick, Darrell, and Tony with you. 3rd down and 3. Bears on their 40-yard line. They had new life, and they're trying to make the most of it. And getting hit was the quarterback, Craig Kenzel, by O.C. Umenyiora. And it'll be 4th down coming up. And the Giants starting from the 11-yard line. And Barber getting a chance. Season opening. And carries it out nearly 7 yards before Lance Briggs makes the tackle. They're lollygagging is what they're doing.
And it's complete opposite on the other side of the line of scrimmage. The Chicago Bears defense seems like they're anticipating. They know what the plays that are going to be called are out there, and they're really getting better as time goes on, guys.
Well, that started them, Tony. That defense started the offense, all with the turnovers. And the Bears not only back in the game, but in the game with a 6-point lead as Barber gets 7 yards. And it'll bring up 3rd down and about 1. There's the secondary, and it's 13 points off of turnovers. Jerry Azuma stripped Warner with a fumble. Then Azuma and Mike Green stripped Ike Hilliard. Green hit Amani Toomer. Nathan Vasher with a pick. And then Mike Green tipped a pass to Jerry Azuma with an interception.
But this has been an area this afternoon that has really been the Achilles heel for the Giants, and it's something they've struggled with all season. They are missing opportunities, not being able to gain a single yard. They're going back to pass now.
And
That's
down,
3 of them today.
they can't do it again. It was tipped by Adewale Ogunleye, and 4th down coming up. And the Giants, 6:33 to go in the 3rd, are in serious trouble.
Here's a coach who has lost confidence in his offense's ability to line up and run the ball to get the first down. Tiki Barber, if you're going to go out and chop that guy, you've got to put your shoulder through his thigh board. You don't get Adewale Ogunleye down. You give him the opportunity to reach up and deflect that pass. That is the halfback's job on that play.
Jeff Feagles gets off a beauty. Back is R.W. McQuarters at the 31-yard line. McQuarters cutting upfield. R.W. McQuarters with a big run to the Giant 40-yard line. And a flag is down. Penalty marker, and now a second one is thrown. Then the face mask penalty, and here are the Bears on the Giant 24-yard line. And it's play action on first down. A flag is down, wide open. Anthony Thomas in the middle of the field. And Thomas inside the 5 to about the 3. But there's another penalty.
Oh, it's coming back.
Hit with a huge penalty there. They would have had 1st and goal inside the 5. Instead, 1st and 15 on the Giant 29-yard line. And the handoff to Anthony Thomas. And will lose a yard on the play. Fred Robbins making the tackle. And the Giant defense without Michael Strahan with a strained pec muscle. Keith Washington was out early, so Umenyiora and Legree have been the ends.
You get a big running back like Anthony Thomas, and you reach back to get that arm tackle, and all of a sudden he hits you. He pulls that arm back and just stretches that chest.
Well, the Giants missing both of their defensive ends as the Bears look at 2nd down and 16.
Yeah, but this guy right here, O.C. Umenyiora, he has really stepped up his play the last few weeks.
No question about that. Krenzer
There he is.
going to be tackled by Umenyiora, so from your mouth to his play, 9-yard loss.
Do something that's going to allow you to give a makeable field goal attempt after this play. You're not going to get your first down, but get some yards where Paul Edinger feels secure in his attempt.
That's the idea, and the pass incomplete off the hands of Desmond Clark. So it is 4th down, and the Bears, who look to be in golden situation, will have to punt.
We saw a 10-yard holding penalty on a kickoff return that changed the complexion of the game at the end of the first half when Willie Ponder would have given the Giants a 1st and goal inside the 10-yard line. That penalty, the next play, results in a turnover by the Giants, and that illegal formation by the Bears takes away a 1st and goal inside the 5, and now they're punting.
Brad Maynard trying to keep it in play, and it will go bounce.
Wow.
Looked like it bounced in the end zone, but it did not.
Holy cow.
What a spin, and it's on the 1/2 yard line. That ball took a 90-degree change.
It had eyes on it, Dick.
Boy, it sure did, and I saw it. They were bloodshot.
I'm watching all those guys down there, and I'm wondering why nobody's trying to make a play on the football. I mean, I have never seen a ball move that far to the sideline. And I tell you, this field turf, this new turf that everybody plays on in the NFL is so much softer than the old turf that when you do see some of these punts coming in, a lot of times they bounce straight up, and it gives you more of an opportunity to down it down inside the 5. But I have never seen one make a hard right turn and run for the sideline.
Ball is about a foot from the goal line, and the running play on 1st down. Breaking it is Barber, and Tiki Barber with a 1st down beyond the 20. That is a huge play for the Giants. Backed up inside their own 1. He picks up his number, 21.
Well, I tell you, you know that Tony Dorsett is happy right now, because I thought his record might be in jeopardy right here, because he split that seam, and I thought he was going to go the distance.
The 99?
99.
And Tiki Barber, who has fumbled once but has not lost a fumble this year, holding on for dear life. And the Giants get out of trouble. Move it up to the 22. Here comes pressure, and Warner dumps it off to Barber. Tiki Barber with blocks and gets to the 30-yard line, and another flag is down. 2 penalty markers are down.
Looks like holding, guys.
Barber does a great job by just slowing him down enough and still being able to get back in that screen.
1st down and 16. Michael Cloud in the running back is upended by Brian Urlacher, and a loss of 1. An inspired defensive effort by the Chicago Bears, who are trying to make it 2 in a row. They had lost 4 straight before they beat the 49ers last week, and it seemed to revive the entire team. And talking with him last night, you would never know that this was a 2-5 team.
No, and I agree. You made the point earlier in the game that they kind of assume the personality of Lovie Smith, and he's got that quiet confidence. He never panics. He's always in control, has a tremendous amount of confidence in the guys and the systems that he has in place in Chicago.
Tiki Barber back in the game. And on 2nd down and 17, Warner's pass hitting Barber, and he's out of bounds, and a 1st down at the 42-yard line. So Tiki, after delaying a block, got free, and the Giants move it up to the 42, picking up 27.
Well, he just does a good job of staying alive. He's split out wide. Now, those 2 defenders underneath don't come up on Kurt Warner. Jerry Azuma, you've got to stay downfield. Watch where he is. I know you're dropping into zone coverage, but there's no reason for you to leave him right there. Look how far Todd Johnson has to come over from that safety position. You've got other guys in front of you that will go force the issue with Kurt Warner.
The Giants offensive line also did a great job. They had a double game on each side where the tackle would go upfield, the end would come around. They clogged it all up, so Kurt had time.
And tough to pick up, Tony, when you have young people, but coming in for the sack is Tommy Harris, the rookie, and that is the 4th sack of the game for the Bears. Jeannie Zelasco with a game break.
At Tampa Bay, Michael Pittman already 2 touchdowns on the day, but this one most memorable, 78 yards for the score, a team record 78 yards. The Bucs have won back-to-back games for just the 2nd time since winning the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
All right, Jeannie, Bears with 4 sacks. Alex Brown has 3 of them. Tommy Harris with a sack and a 4-yard loss. 2nd down and 14, and they'll hand the ball off to Cloud. He has an opening off the right side, and trying to battle to get to the 1st down, will be shy by a small margin with Todd Johnson.
That's not a small margin for the Giants, so
no, that's true.
A mile.
That's...
I think the Giants will be using a bigger one, though, bigger gun.
3rd and 1, Dane again, the tailback, play action to Dane, and here's Warner's pass, and Shockey can't hold on. Try to make the one-handed grab, and could not. And fourth down coming up.
Boy, did he get away with one right there.
And the Giants may go for it here on 4th and 1, and they will. Barber comes back in.
Jeremy Shockey had a little bit of a push there against number 92, Hunter Hillenmeyer. Almost came down with a circus catch.
So with 46 seconds remaining in the third quarter, the Giants, who are just 2 yards in their territory, will go for it on 4th and 1.
I don't agree with it. Punt the ball, use your coverage, make the Bears drive the length of the field. They have not proven they can do that this afternoon.
Hand off to Barber. Didn't make it. At first glance, let's see, though, if forward progress will give it to them. They definitely should have a measurement. So the Giants gamble on 4th down, and now the Bears take over on their own 48-yard line, leading by 6, 20-14. Here comes the safety blitz, and Anthony Thomas gets into Giant territory and a 4-yard pickup. Lovie Smith and Tom Coughlin, his first year with the Giants, have coached Jacksonville. We start the fourth quarter, and the Bears into Giant territory as Anthony Thomas will be about 4 yards shy of the first down. William Joseph making the tackle for the Giants. So many twists and turns in this game. Penalties, missed assignments, and of course 7 turnovers that have been a factor. 3 turnovers of the Giants, 5 the Bears scored on, and 1 of the 2 by the Bears the Giants were able to capitalize.
Some of the things that may not be remembered after the game is over. I mean, the 3 3rd and 1s that they've missed, the 4th down that they just missed previous to this drive starting out.
Too many to count, really. 3rd down and 4. Fake to Berrien, and here is Krenzel. And Krenzel is not going to make it. He dives, and he appears to be shy of the first down. Frank Walker chased him. Giants start from the 11-yard line. Tiki Barber dives beyond the 15, picking up 5 yards on the play. When you consider that the Giants have turned it over 5 times and many penalties, some on teams and some on defense, this Giant defensive team has really played a terrific game.
There's not many games where you can have 5 turnovers and only give up 20 points. And the big one was on that 4th down, because that was an area that they had struggled with this afternoon, and they were able to make a critical stop there and force Chicago to punt.
2nd down and 5 from the 16-yard line. Here's Warner's pass caught by Shockey. 1st down at the 33 to Jeremy Shockey with a 16-yard pickup. Jeannie Zelasco with a game break.
And the shootout continues in San Francisco now. The Seattle defense is getting into the fray. Anthony Simmons kicks the Tim Rattay pass off and returns it 23 yards for the score. 42-27 Seattle.
And a wild game as the Seattle defense gets into the act. Here we are, and it's 1st and 10 in the fourth quarter in what has been a wild game. 20-14 is the score. 1st down, Giants at the 32. And Barber, nothing doing there as the Bears with good penetration led by Ian Scott. Not much, so it'll be 2nd down.
I'll tell you who has played a heck of a game today is Alex Brown. And he has 3 sacks. On that play, he was in the backfield almost in time to take the handoff from Kurt Warner. He has just been outstanding this afternoon. And you talk to Lovie Smith, and he said he was probably the guy who has exceeded the expectations during the course of the year. I mean, that's going back down inside, fighting through all those big linemen.
Barber is lined up as a receiver on the wide receiver screen, incomplete.
Tony, you told me you were going to tell him to stop running that play.
I'm going to go over and tell him again. There it is again, that screen.
Well, it's worked for them against Dallas a few times.
Watch Todd Johnson, number 32. He's almost going to intercept that pass.
Yeah, he jumped it pretty good.
And of course, as the Giants were scouting the bubble screens of the Vikings and maybe the Bears, they tried it today. You know that the teams are watching the Giants wide receiver screen. Meanwhile, the Giants with Luke Pettigrew out with a concussion, missing their veteran left tackle.
Okay, now that means that Alex Brown, the guy we were just talking about, is going up against Brandon Whitey, who hasn't gotten a lot of snaps today.
And this pass incomplete, and once again Warner had no chance. Just from what you said, the pressure put on Kurt Warner from that area on the field, and it's 4th down. They start this possession from the 24. Here's Anthony Thomas. And Thomas getting a little stronger as the game goes on, gets 5 yards. on first down.
Well, that's what the running game does. It wears down the defense. And, they'll try to get that rotation with their defensive linemen to keep bodies fresh. But we've got Keith Washington out. Michael Strahan is out. So all of a sudden that rotation changes. These guys have got to stay on the field longer. That running game should be stronger in the third and fourth quarter if you are a physical running team.
And Luke Pettigrew still on the sidelines. Will not come back to the game at left tackle. That's on the offense. The Giants right now concerned with stopping the Bears, who have a 2nd down and 5 on their 29. The pitch to Thomas. And he'll be stopped at the 31-yard line by Jabril Wilson. And will be about 2.5, 3 yards short of the first down. And another 3rd down play coming up for Chicago. The Giant defense keeping them in the game, but the Giant offense has not shown any signs that they can come from behind in this game. They've got to prove that.
Well, they just haven't done anything this afternoon to instill confidence, whether it's turnovers or missed opportunities on 3rd and short situations, or forcing them into 4th and short situations. They have had plenty of opportunities today and haven't been able to capitalize on any of them.
And you got to admire the Chicago Bears coming in at 2 and 5. Lovie Smith has a well-coached team here. 3rd down and 3. And Krenzel with the pass, and caught for the first down by David Terrell. And the Bears will move the sticks, and a first down at the 39.
Now watch the concentration on this. It's going to go right here to David Terrell. Will Allen comes in, kind of undercuts him. He's almost parallel to the ground when he makes the catch. He's on your inside on the slot, gets a good release. Will Allen is stumbling, kind of looks like he takes his legs out. Good concentration by David Terrell.
He has 3 catches, and he leads the Bears in that department. And with a 6-point lead at this stage of the 4th quarter, it'll be nothing fancy and a ball control play for the Bears offense. And as I say it, the pass is caught by David Terrell at the center of the field, and a first down at the 40, picking up 20 yards. And the Bears in Giant territory.
The deep in route, and Craig Krenzel does a great job. Look how he gets his hips to turn to the outside, then breaks across his face. Will Peterson was playing the go route. David Terrell did a good job of maintaining his speed all the way up the stem. As soon as Will Peterson opened his hips to the outside, he broke across his face. But Craig Krenzel bought some time because he had Carlos Emmons right in his face. That's a heck of a play for a young guy right there. That's his best play of the day.
And very steady, very smart quarterback is Krenzel. And that was a good play by Alexander on the tackle. And here is the pitch to Anthony Thomas off the right side, and a slew of the blue shirts forge in, and a loss of a couple on the play.
Moose, Craig Krenzel, when we talked to him yesterday, was a little bit worried when we asked him, how is it to start at the quarterback position. He said, the anticipation, because he said sometimes, you see a guy wide open and you want to throw it to him like it was back in college, but by the time the ball gets to him, there's a defender right in front of him. But I see him getting better here today, as anticipating his receivers getting open.
Yeah, as you move along, your confidence is going to build. And on that pass right there, that ball was coming out of his hands before the break by David Terrell.
Reggie Torbor has come in at defensive end. He's a linebacker by trade, and here comes the blitz and the handoff to Anthony Thomas. Thomas going around right in, and a foot race. Thomas racing for the end zone, and he is in for the touchdown. Anthony Thomas with a 41-yard touchdown run going around the left side, and the Bears have opened up a 12-point lead.
A good defensive call. Here comes your blitzer right here. On the draw play, he just takes a poor angle coming in, can't make the play. Now you're one short in the secondary. Let me tell you, Anthony Thomas, he is deceptively quick, because I'm telling you right now, those Giant defenders, he's the big physical guy that's supposed to be able to pound the ball through the tackles. He's not expecting him to be able to turn the corner. And one of the reasons right there, Michael Strahan, he's on the sideline with an ice bag on that chest.
And the Bears will go for 2 points here, leading 26-14 with 7:44 remaining. Anthony Thomas, and a conversion here would give the Bears a 14-point lead. Krenzel with play action in the fake,
run it in,
and he runs it in for the 2 points, and it's 28-14. So the Bears, from the 5-minute mark on in the second quarter, have totally taken over this game over the New York Giants. How about today for a birthday present for Anthony Thomas, turning 27 years old, 41-yard touchdown run. The A-Train with 106 yards, 2 touchdowns. 10th time in his career he's gone over the 100 mark, and that's with Thomas Jones out of there. So he's always had to take a back seat to other running backs and waiting for his chance, but he's been a great team player. He's not a guy just looking to see where he'll play next year, and the Bears recognizing that, and he paid dividends today. Willie Ponder returning the kick for the Giants, who need a spark to say the least, and the Ponder brings it out to the 37-yard line. 33-yard return for Kevin Lewis. Giants though need points. Play action on first down, and Warner gets hit. Flag is down. Adewale Ogunleye, who has been injury plagued, didn't know whether he could play in this game. Practiced Friday with a ankle injury
to the head of the quarterback.
I wish I had a flag every time I got hit in the head by somebody.
First down at the 49-yard line, and there is Barber bouncing off a defender, and Tiki Barber picking up about 6 yards on the play. Giants with 2 touchdowns today. Tiki Barber scoring both of them, and they all came in the first quarter when they had a 14-0 lead. But keep in mind they were on short fields of 38 and 21 yards, and this pass caught by Amani Toomer to the 30, picking up 13, and it's really hurry-up time for the Giants.
You know, and this may be something that some of these guys on the Giant offense want. You know, you see some of the frustration from the skill players. They want to get into these situations where it's a hurry-up, and they're going to start throwing the ball around because they want some of that to become part of their offense.
Safety blitz, and the screen pass to Barber, runs into his own lineman, makes up for it. Tiki Barber in the open field is down at the 11-yard line. Great piece of running by Barber after running into his own man, picking up 18 in the process.
Well, number one, you pointed out the safety blitz. There goes Jerry Azuma. Kurt Warner does a good job biding time. Tiki Barber goes to cut back inside, runs right into the back of Wayne Luceur, and then gets back to the inside. He's got tremendous vision out there on that field.
So with Cloud in there, first down at the 12, Shockey will get it to the 5-yard line. And all of a sudden, the Giants have urgency, something that we haven't seen with this offense for most of this game.
Well, that's what happens when you're down by 14 with a little over 6 minutes to go. You can't.
Tom Coughlin's your coach.
So the Bears trying to stem the tide, and they do the best they can. Incomplete, as Urlacher almost had the interception, but great pressure put on Kurt Warner. And it was Michael Haynes coming off a big game from last week.
And here they come right here. It's Lance Briggs and Todd Johnson. They're coming inside. Lance Briggs, when the guy is there, you've got to gap that. I know he's out wide, but, you know, I just don't think by formation that Mike Cloud can get down there in time. You're not in the shotgun. You're under center, so Kurt Warner is retreating. You've got to have the offensive lineman come off his responsibility and take the blitzer.
Giants really need a touchdown here. A field goal would not be exactly what they would want, and the deflection pass intended for Hilliard. And all of a sudden it'll be third down and goal for the Giants. And now fourth down for the Giants. 4th and goal at the 3. They went for it, 4th down and 1 near midfield, and didn't make it earlier. Did not get burned as a result.
Well, they can get a first down without getting a touchdown from this spot on the field. So that's the other thing that they have to keep in mind. Don't try and force something. You can still pick up the first without scoring.
And here they send everyone at Warner. Warner fires, incomplete, and the flag is down right at the spot that Kurt Warner was hit, and roughing the passer called against the Bears again.
But not only a lot of penalties, but the timing of the penalties.
And successive penalties.
And the play that was being run at that time being called back. It's just something simple like that. 1st and goal at the 2-yard line. And you can't have that, not in your stadium.
Showing blitz again are the Bears. Warner has the play clock down to 1, and he flips it underneath to Ike Hilliard. And Hilliard is tackled at the 5-yard line. It'll 9 scoreless possessions. And here is a Barber drop. And another loss of 4 yards. Make it Jerry Azuma on the play. And the Giants are going backwards.
Well, they are doing a great job on their timing of their blitzes right there. And the good thing about Jerry Azuma right there is the vision. He's just not running through blind. He sees that Kurt Warner has handed the ball off to Tiki Barber. We just saw on the previous play when the Giants blitzed and they had Anthony Thomas blitzed right into that, and he was able to make a miss and go down the field for a touchdown.
With Lovie Smith as the head coach. 3rd and goal. And the pass screened to Ike Hilliard. And Hilliard gets it down to the 4, and ball jarred away, but down by contact was Hilliard by Jerry Azuma. So guess what? We got another 4th down coming up.
A lot of cat and mouse right now. Look at all the guys up front in the blitz, but they're all going to pull out. All these guys are going to pull out. They have blitzed the last probably 4 or 5 plays in a row. That's what this play is designed for. It's designed to beat the blitz. It comes out quick, gets the ball on the perimeter. Ron Rivera 1 step ahead of the Giants right there on that play call.
And the game, or the extension of the game, could rest right here. Here's the fade to Toomer. Knocked away. No flags down. Nathan Vasher.
Hey, Tony, you know why they didn't score right there? Because they called a screen and a fade back-to-back.
Oh, man.
Nathan Vasher with an interception and making the big play on the veteran Amani Toomer, the rookie, slapping the ball down, and the Bears take over on downs with a 2-touchdown lead and 4 minutes remaining. And the Bears take over on the 5-yard line with Craig Krenzel, the rookie, and Anthony Thomas carrying the ball, and will use up the clock as much as possible. The Giants only 1 timeout left.
They have missed so many opportunities going in. They have a fumble on the rundown right there. Here's one of their many 3rd and short miscues during the course of the game. There's the fumble and the catch in the air by Ian Scott, and here's a 4th down after they missed it on 3rd and 1. So, I mean, 3 of those 4 plays happened in Chicago territory. So early in the game, the Giants had an opportunity to really blow this thing open, and they let the Bears hang around. And when we talked to Keith Washington, that was his big concern. We've got to get these guys out of the game early. If they get into the 4th quarter and it's close, they're going to be a much more difficult team to put away.
Thomas running the ball, and we're getting close to 3 minutes left. Well, the Giants couldn't put the Lions away in the first half. You remember the interception by Warner. The numbers, and Mike Eldridge and Charlie Dameyer as well. 3rd down and 6. Anthony Thomas. And 4th down coming up. And our lead tape operator, Michael Nathanson's mother, Louise, is in the hospital, and all of us on the crew following the 31-yard, as you mentioned, line drive kick. So a 1st down, Giants on the Bears 11. And the pressure on Warner, and they go for the fade to Jamar Taylor, incomplete.
Go ahead, Moose, say it.
I'm speaking a foreign language here. You know, that's something that was developed over time. You know, these guys haven't played together long enough. Kurt Warner doesn't know all the subtleties of his wide receivers well enough yet to have that be a staple in the red zone.
Giants out of timeouts.
There you go.
And the pass caught at the 5, and going in for the touchdown, no. Stopped at the 1 was Ike Hilliard. 2 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. 1st and goal from the 1, play action, and Warner to a wide open Jeremy Shockey for the touchdown. For the kicking team to recover. And here it is, and the ball bounces loose. And the Giants signaling, but it'll be the officials as they untangle the pile. It deflected off of one of the Chicago Bear players.
That was a well-kicked ball because
Giants
it never hopped.
The Giants get it back on the onside kick, and there's hope. And again, the Giants, no timeouts left. 1:54 on the clock. Giants on their own 40-yard line. They need a touchdown and an extra point to send this game into overtime. And here's Kurt Warner with time, and the pass in traffic, incomplete. Jeremy Shockey was sandwiched by 2 defenders, Azuma and Urlacher.
I tell you what.
So the Giants back to their own 36. 3rd and 14. Big uphill climb for the Giants. Warner runs into his own man, and down he goes. Alex Brown will get credit for his 4th sack of the game. 4 for Alex Brown. A loss of 6, and the Giants on fourth down, have fourth down at about 20 just to keep possession, and the clock is running.
This Bears defensive front has just done a tremendous job today. Alex Brown especially, but all of them across that front.
7 sacks, 4 by Brown, and Warner just looking for anyone downfield. And Warner's pass tipped away. And the Bears will get the ball back, and that should seal it as Tom Coughlin yelling for pass interference as Nathan Vasher, who's been a hero today, was defending Jeremy Shockey on the play. Cooling game, but earlier today, the fellowship out on the field.
Yeah, the quarterback's taking the time to say hello. There's your two big marquee defensive players, and of course the kickers have to be involved. And Kurt Warner, you always want to butter up the guy who's going to be chasing you all over the field trying to.
Moose, remind me at the end of this game to give you a hug.
What about before the game, Tony? That's the trick.
Well, maybe. We'll see.
Half a minute remaining, and the Chicago Bears, who looked like they were totally out of this game in the first quarter, has come back, and a brilliant 28-21 win will give them a 3-5 record on the year. And along with the Green Bay win on the road in week 2, their biggest triumph of the year, the Giants miss a big opportunity losing here and will go to 5-3, still trailing the Eagles by 2 games in the division. And the Giants who played better on the road than at home, and that has been apparent. But the Bears have to feel very good at what they accomplished today, beating the Giants 28-21. We'll be right back.